When did the guests come in?
Guests were slightly earlier.
Yeah, the guests were here, and first of all, John Guest was a manager and a partner in the Plymouth Works, and at Pentrabark. So he was a partner there. So he was in effect one of those who was bought out by Anthony Bacon via his agent Charles Wood, and so he would have been there from the early 1760s, and also had a connection, as did Cyfarthfa and Dowlas, with Isaac Wilkinson. Isaac Wilkinson was the father of Ironbridge's Iron Jack Wilkinson, who is very famed. And Isaac Wilkinson was very much the advisor, and he was down here helping with the development of these 3 different blast furnaces. So there, Wood gets permission to buy up the Plymouth Works. John Guest is sort of displaced, and he takes an offer to become the manager at Dowlas Works. So that is 1766. He goes up to Dowlas, and of course the Guest tradition goes on from there.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, it was a Guest, then they took in Keane and Nettleford, so they started a huge enterprise, But what happened was, the difference was that in the 1860s, I think there was a strike at Cyfarthfa, and they locked them out. And in the meantime, the Guests started getting involved in the Bessemer process. And the Bessemer process, they adapted it. They did do alterations on the works here, which is why there's still the old works left there, because they were protected by the newer part, which is gone. But the Guests really went in and became huge then. They were the bigger outfit than Cyfarthfa then. Cyfarthfa had missed the boat, really,
Because they started the Bessemer process in Glenavon, I think, didn't they?
I don't know. Did they actually start it there? But Guest
they had. I think they had. You're right. They had one of the first successful Bessemer furnaces, but they were pioneering it up at Dowlas as well.
There were so many interlinked.
Yeah, they were all related anyway.
Well,
yes.
There was so many. They went to the Forest of Dean. The Crawshed. They had a place over in Herwine, which is owned by the Crawshed. There's a tale there, actually, is the son who was running the one in Herwine fell out of favour with his family because he married one of the women working in the works. It was a love affair. It was a romantic love affair in Herwine. So that's the story that is part of. But all along the hedge, in fact, Rob is one of these who's pioneering this, what we call the Iron Trail, going from basically Llanelli Hill, although you could go further afield if you wanted to go into Forest of Dean, but basically along the Hedger Valley, from Llanelli Hill, coming across, because you had in Tredegar, you were in Abervale, Tredegar, Rumney. Fantastic furnaces there. They were Egyptian. They were like Egyptian shaped, Across Llanelli Hill, across Rumney, as you say, across the Dowlice.
British,
and going down to Neath, because some of the engines that were pulling stuff around were actually built in Neath for the other ironmasters, you know. So there's they were really linked in together, you know. It was capitalism without a doubt, but it was capitalism where they functioned as a whole, if you like. I'd say it was nice capitalism, but it was working capitalism, you know.